tried, but nothing is working. I won't stop, I won't say I've had enough. Tonight, I start the fire. Tonight, I break away.
Hello, I'm Kigan. I'm going to talk about an interesting topic about DNA upgrade through the merging of galaxies from in5d.com. But I'm going to start with some poems that really go well with this. It's called Earth Hug. Earth Hug. We came from space to this place called Earth to make her feel more like home, offering her our warm embrace so she won't feel so alone. Here's another one called The Womb of Thought. Imagination is manifestation, and that's how we appear on Earth. We existed as another's thought before our physical birth. See, that's physically able to have children, the physical part, but there's also the mind of thought that also plays a part in creation of beings as a thought before the physical manifestation. Okay, this is called DNA upgrade through the merging of galaxies. We are not from here. The picture below on the right shows the Milky Way galaxy as seen from the Earth on a clear night. Since our earliest education, we have always been taught that the Earth, our Sun, and our solar system belong to the Milky Way galaxy. New scientific evidence clearly shows that not to be the case. One of the greatest astronomical mysteries is why the Milky Way is at an angle when seen from Earth. If our solar system emerged out of the Milky Way, we would be in line with the whirlpool disk. But as it is, we reside at an angle to it. That long-time mystery has now been solved. A new infrared digital survey of the entire sky was made in 2003. Teams from the University of Virginia and Massachusetts used a supercomputer to sort through 500 million stars to create a new star map, showing our solar system to be at the exact nexus crossroads where the two galaxies are actually joining. We are now joining the Milky Way galactic community, with all the implications thereof. A sense of shock came as scientists announced that the Sun, the Moon, our planet, and its siblings were not born into the familiar band of stars known as the Milky Way galaxy, but we actually belong to a strange formation with the unfamiliar name of the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. How can this be? Using volumes of data from the 2-micron all-sky surveys to mass, a major project to survey the sky in infrared light led by the University of Massachusetts, the astronomers are answering questions that have baffled scientists for decades, proving that our own Milky Way is consuming one of its neighbors in a dramatic display of ongoing galactic cannibalism. The study, published in the Astrophysical Journal, is the first to map the full extent of the Sagittarius galaxy and show in visually vivid detail how its debris wraps around and passes through our Milky Way. Sagittarius is 10,000 times smaller in mass than the Milky Way, so it is getting stretched out, torn apart, and gobbled up by the bigger Milky Way. We are at an angle to the arms of the Milky Way whirlpool disk, because we did not come out of the Milky Way, but the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy, which is now colliding with and being eaten by the huge Milky Way. It has always been known that the Milky Way collects material from other galaxies and overwhelms the small ones. The Sagittarius dwarf galaxy from which our solar system came is very, very small and being energetically consumed. We are about to join the Milky Way at the energetic level of the whirlpool disk. The rings around the Milky Way galaxy here are the remnants of other small galaxies. You can see where our sun is located, and that it has been moving in an entirely different direction than thought. Trace the ring in which our solar system resides, and you can see its path. Now it becomes obvious why the Milky Way is viewed at an angle from Earth, and the coming convergence also becomes obvious as our solar system from the diminishing Sagittarius dwarf galaxy now joins with the Milky Way. The overall contributing cause to global climate change and the melting of the polar ice caps of both Earth and Mars and Pluto is caused by our arrival into the brighter and more energetic equator region of the Milky Way galactic disk, where all the action is, as we cross-cut in from the Earth, clearly less energetic, darker, deep space. With little contemplation, it should become clear to anyone what is happening. An actual infrared photo of the Milky Way from Earth, nearly centered side view amidst glowing plasma region of whirlpool disk. Crossroads of convergence. The many scientists studying this phenomenon are telling us that this has vast implications for all DNA on planet Earth and our entire web of life. Big and sudden evolutionary changes are already beginning to occur. The sudden and rapid changes have been called by evolutionary biologists a punctuated equilibrium. Punctuated equilibrium, the evolutionary process involving long periods without change stasis, punctuated by short periods of rapid speciation. At this moment we are beginning to undergo such a punctuated equilibrium. The nation of our species, Homo sapiens, is now undergoing a huge shift. Some call it a transformational evolution, others call it the end of our old world and the beginning of a new one, happening simultaneously. Some can only perceive the negative side of it, and are reacting with extreme fear over the loss of the familiar. They predict doomsday, but although many things in our old world are perishing rapidly, their demise will only herald a new age. So that's like the catastrophic timeline changing to the positive timeline. A new age so different from the past dysfunction of thousands of years as to be almost incomprehensible from our present perspectives. The metaphor of a golden age of peace has been used many times and in many cultures to describe the aftertime. Our physical DNA affects our personal human conscious awareness. DNA and human consciousness are completely interconnected, intertwined, commingled. What affects one affects the other. DNA is the material physical aspect of human consciousness. Those who are becoming aware of the spiritual aspects due to activating their energetic heart are able to see the metaphysical implications as well. It's like my master does the poetry that we read, and she's been coming up with wonderful things that she always keeps coming up with more and more, and she's always afraid she's going to not be able to do it and run out of ideas, but she never does, and she hopes she never will. So I'm sure there are other people experiencing great things with their challenge to help Earth's vibration. This bombardment by rapidly increasing energies now coming in from the Milky Way whirlpool disk means rapid changes for human consciousness. It means genetic changes for all life on Earth, as every quantum of matter and energy in our entire solar system is transformed while colliding with the many energetic frequencies, ions, radiation, cosmic dust pouring out from the Milky Way equator and rapidly engulfing our entire solar